Hey guys, this is Tim from the Long Hair Gardener, and today is part 2 of planning up my garden for the summertime. So in the first video, if you missed it, I planted up all of my plants for the summer in the sun, and now I'm going to be planting up all of my shade plants. So I'm going to start with these pots right here beside me, so come along and let's get these plants in the ground. Alright, we're going to get started with the two planters that are against the wall. They are kind of matching planters. They have almost the identical plants. The only difference is the center plant, or the showstopper, and the heuchera are just slightly different variations. So in the back here, a caramel heuchera, which kind of has more of a chartreuse color, which maybe it's not getting, maybe it's too shaded, but it's still a nice color. We have the Gardenmeister fuchsia plant. This is a black elephant ear, and this guy right here is Coleus, and we have a Tarina. So like I said, the two planters over here are very similar. So the only difference is there's a different heuchera, and I'm going to put the let's see if I can spin around. There is a mojito colocasia, or elephant ear, that is going to go in the center here. So I'm going to go ahead and get those planted up a while. It's a little bit of a challenge planting back here because I'm trying not to step on any of the other plants, but there are a lot right around the base of this pot. So if you didn't see my first video, I am going to shake on some slow release 6-month fertilizer into the ground before I add the plants. And because this is a little dark back here, I'm going to add this pop of color here of an impatient. Alright, I think these look pretty good. Right now some of the plants are not I guess, grown to their full potential, so it's a little hard to see what the planter will look like. But in a month, everything will look really good. The elephant ears will be the tallest plant in the pot, and I think everything will be looking nice. All right, let's spin around now, and the next pot is this one right here. So let me move these out. Right now I have asparagus ferns in here, but I think I am going to dig those out and replace them with this nice fern right here. So it's going to be that fern, these begonias. I have two bromeliads, and then I'm going to put the teacup colocasia in the center here as the thriller plant. Alright, as you can see, I had a little trouble getting an even split on this fern, but I'm confident that this side over here will grow in. I also kind of had a space or a spot up here that was a little empty, so I did have a purple Tradescantia here to fill in that hole. But I think this one is done and looks pretty good. Alright, and I have this pot here underneath the tree, which is all shade. So I am going to put in this begonia right here. Guess it would help if I would take the tag out. So I'm going to put this begonia, one impatient, two taurina, and I have 3 caladiums that I am going to put in here. I have one from last year and it is already starting to sprout, so that will be a mystery, but that is what's going in this container right here. Alright, this guy is all planted up and looks pretty good. I also forgot to mention that back here in the corner I have 4 pots with 4 different kinds of impatiens, and I also put in a few other caladium. So it will take a little while for them to come up, but we'll have some caladium coming up shortly. Alright, I think that is everything, and it is now time for to water these guys in. So the next area that I want to plant up is all of this empty space right here, and then right over here around the banana tree. So I have these annuals right here, I have these marigolds, some salvia, and then I also have these sweet potato vines here. I love sweet potato vines. They look great in planters. but they do tend to take a lot of water and over dominate the planter. So I have had really good luck with putting them directly into the ground, and they kind of cascade out here onto the sidewalk, which is perfect. So in the center area, I'm going to put these cannas. I have one that I need to dig out and move over to this area, and then just plant these annuals that I just described or talked about around the edges. And then directly around the cannas, I'm going to be putting some coleus that I overwintered from last year. Whoa. Yeah, that was not good. Alright, the cannas are in, and I kind of lined them, at least the main clump of cannas, up with this large brown pot in the background. So this is going to be, even though this is not a pot, this is kind of going to be the thriller. It's going to be the tallest plant. I'm going to put medium plants around them, smaller plants around those, and then here at the edge I'm going to have some spillers, which are the sweet potato vines that are going to be spilling out onto the sidewalk. So even though they are not in a pot, I'm using the same strategy as if they were in a pot. I did put some fertilizer in the ground. You probably may or may not have noticed I opened the wrong side of that container and dumped a whole bunch in there, but I kind of threw it around and dispersed it a little bit, so that should be okay. All right, let's get started with the sweet potatoes next. Okay, next we're going to do the strawberry blonde marigolds. All right, and in between the marigolds, I'm going to put the salvia. All right, so this is the pattern, which I am now going to come over here repeat over here and then also over by the banana tree. So let me go ahead and do that, and I will show you what it looks like when it's all done. So these are all in now and watered, and I think they look great. Just do a little pan around here. I also had an extra teacup or coffee cup colocasia, which I did stick in right over there. But I think this section looks good and will fill in nicely. I also put in the coleus that I overwintered. But overall, I am happy with this, and I think in another month everything will be grown together and looking very full. So the last section of the garden that I have to plant are just these 4 pots, and then I will be all done. Alright, the pots are prepped with some new soil, and I did put some fertilizer in. Now it's just time to put in the plants. So I do have a Strobilanthus or Persian Shield, which is going to go in here with my cypress fern. I have another Persian Shield, which is going to go in this pot. Two different kinds of oxalis, which will go in this small pot back here. I have, it's not looking great right now, but I do have a spider plant, which is going to go in this pot. Some Tarina, and also a Moses in the boat that I wintered over last year. Forgot to mention, in the middle of the spider plant pot and the oxalis pot, I am going to put 2 burning heart caladiums. Alright, everything is in the pot, and I'm going to just clean up this area. I will admit things are not looking great at the moment. There's also a lot of dark purple, but I think with a little time this will fill in and look a little better. So let me go ahead and get this cleaned up. Alright, things look a little bit better now that I have the area hosed off, everything's watered. I did add a really bright impatient over there because it was just not enough color contrast with all the green and purple, so I did add that in there. And I do have an asparagus fern just kind of sitting here off to the side. Not sure if that's going to stay there or not, but overall I think it looks good, and it will look even better in a couple of weeks. Alright guys, I think that's everything for today. Thank you for joining me. The garden is now officially completely finished, and all the plants are planted. So now it's time to just sit back and watch as they grow. So thanks again for joining me. If you do like these videos, please click like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next garden video. Have a great day in your garden.